You know, I would get my money and transfer it over
To other people.
to other people. Sometimes it went directly to those people because, for
Oh,
instance,
that's
I'm out
bad.
on the road. I know all these, and I would watch your show and I'd hear you say, you and Bill Cosby, and you say, make sure you sign all your checks.
Sign all your
those
checks.
things.
Yeah.
Toni Braxton didn't just carry a microphone, she carried her entire family. And now, she's finally saying what fans have whispered for years, that being the backbone of the Braxtons didn't just break her bank, it broke her spirit. She recently said, "If they weren't my family, they wouldn't be my friends." And just like that, the facade of sisterly love crumbled. Behind the Grammys, the red carpets, and the voice that made millions cry was a woman slowly drowning under the weight of everyone else's expectations.
So a little scary. I'm going there thinking, oh, just my heart a little bit, a little pericarditis,
Right.
and they're saying, no, you have blood clots. So very fortunate, very lucky they diagnosed it early.
And what we're about to uncover isn't just a story of financial ruin. It's about betrayal, manipulation, and the hidden cost of always being the strong one. From the outside, Toni looked like she had it all: the talent, the awards, the admiration. But what no one saw was the silent sacrifice she made from the very beginning. She didn't just rise to fame. She rose while carrying 6 other lives on her back.
I was just starting, so I was catching up. So at 14,
Yeah.
that's when I would start to sneak a little bit. The bus driver would play music on the bus, but at home, unless it was a gospel singer, James Cleveland or somebody, or going up yonder, Tremaine Hawkins, no.
When her mother had a devastating accident, a teenage Toni stepped up. At just 13 or 14, she became the surrogate mom, cooking, cleaning, protecting, providing, all while trying to chase her own dreams. And when the fame finally came, the burden didn't lift. It only got heavier. Toni may have been the star, but to her family, she was the safety net. And over time, that safety net turned into a bottomless pit. Her words were chilling.
It was just hard for me because I wanted my sisters to be successful because they were so talented. But to be fair, on Ella and Babyface side, I am 10 years older than Tamar and 5 years older than my very next sister in line after me, Tracy.
I was carrying the Braxton name and the Braxton bills. Every tour, every gig, every album advance. She wasn't just feeding herself. She was keeping the lights on for her entire family. She was funding flopped business ideas, covering car notes, rent, and sometimes just emotional stability. And yet, no matter how much she gave, it was never enough. While Tamar showed up and performed for free, others weren't as selfless. Toni claimed that Trina, her own sister, sent invoices after performing. Invoices.
This guy, this billionaire guy, called my agent and was like, I need for Toni Braxton to come and do a private show, just a private show, me and my girl. My agent called, you want to? I'm like, okay, where is he? He said, Italy, yes, I'm going to go.
Meanwhile, Tawanda had a full-time role as Toni's assistant and still never lent a helping hand when it really mattered. At some point, Toni wasn't just being used, she was being drained. And what hurts more than a bill from your sister is realizing your love was transactional to them. You'd think with over 70 million albums sold, Toni would be set for life, but the truth, she made just 35 cents per album. She was the face of R&B excellence.
I was forced to slow down then, but sometimes it's challenging being a mom and a working mom trying to slow down. We forget to take the sign. I should say to listen to the signs and tell your body, take a little break, slow down. So I'm going to do better at listening to my body.
And yet, behind the scenes, she was barely surviving. Her label billed her for everything: travel, wardrobe, studio time, and then took it out of her royalties. She was financing her own fame and getting crumbs in return. When she finally had enough and took them to court, the backlash was brutal. 8 weeks later, she filed for bankruptcy again. If that wasn't enough, one of Toni's lowest moments came on national television.
And apparently they broke up. He did something bad. And he wanted me to sing Unbreak My Heart, just to the two of them.
Really?
Yes, can you sing Unbreak My Heart? Just one song, sing it to my girl, and she forgave him.
She sat across from Oprah, expecting empathy, but got humiliation instead. Oprah grilled her, questioning whether her financial downfall was due to overspending. The judgment was thick, the compassion, nowhere to be found. But here's the real kicker. Rumors say Oprah tipped off Toni's label before the interview. Instead of helping a Black woman in distress, she allegedly sided with the same machine that chewed Toni up and spit her out. That moment didn't just hurt, it shifted public opinion against her.
I believed in everyone else. I'm trying to master the artistry, the singing, and I'm singing on stage, and I'm on tour for almost a year, and a lot of times, it's just...
So did the people come in your house and actually are like going through your things?
Yeah.
As if things couldn't get worse, 2010 hit like a wrecking ball. Toni was diagnosed with lupus and microvascular angina, two brutal health conditions that forced her to cancel her Las Vegas residency. But here's the twist. Her insurance didn't cover the cancellation. Guess who had to pay out of pocket? Lighting, musicians, hotels, salaries, everything gone. She had no choice but to file for bankruptcy again. Not because she was reckless, but because she kept putting everyone else first. Then came the government. In 2017, both the IRS and the California Franchise Tax Board hit her with nearly $500,000 in back taxes. And they weren't playing. They warned that if she didn't pay up, they'd start seizing property. Let that sink in. A global icon, still touring, still performing, still iconic, and she's drowning in debt while feeding everyone else. The return of Braxton family values wasn't the triumphant comeback fans expected. It was an emotional war zone. Toni was reportedly being underpaid, overworked, and done. She walked off set during filming, and honestly, who could blame her? Family tensions spilled over, jealousy, resentment, competition, all of it magnified under the pressure of reality TV cameras. It wasn't healing, it was trauma televised. Before her passing in 2022, Tracy Braxton was the unsung heartbreak in this family saga. Long before the spotlight, Tracy was cut out of the original Braxton record deal simply for being pregnant. The label wanted perfection, glamour, not a mother. So while her sisters signed contracts, Tracy was left behind with a smile that masked a deep wound. And though she never publicly lashed out, you could feel the ache that she wasn't chosen, that her sacrifice was forgotten. Toni and Tracy had love, but it was layered, complicated. There were unspoken words, unhealed cuts, and too many what-ifs. And now with Tracy gone, that grief sits heavy. It's not just about losing a sister. It's about realizing some things were never made right. Toni's voice cracks when she speaks about Tracy now, that tired, quiet kind of grief that doesn't go away, the kind that haunts the strongest ones, especially when they're left holding the weight of everyone else's pain. Just when you thought the Braxton drama couldn't go deeper, Tamar drops a bomb. For the new season of the show, she brings in her niece, Ashley Braxton. And this isn't just a cameo. Ashley's stepping in with a purpose. Years ago, when she was just 16, Ashley said that Trina's then-husband, Gabe, had crossed serious lines with her, texting and acting inappropriately. Ashley told her parents, and they told Trina. At first, Trina supported her, but over time, that support turned into silence. Then shade, then blame. Trina allegedly began telling people that Ashley should have known better, even going as far as to suggest Ashley was at fault. Imagine that, being preyed on as a teen and then turned into the villain in your own family. Ashley was cut off, left to carry that trauma alone. And now, Tamar says she brought her back to show Ashley she's not alone, that someone in the family still has her back. But with the family already at war, this move is shaking the table. Some say Tamar did it for healing. Others think she's just fanning the flames. After decades of being the provider, the protector, and the peacemaker, Toni Braxton is done. She recently said the words that shattered fans. "I don't want to be the strong one anymore." And that wasn't just a moment. It was a scream from the soul. Because being the strong one isn't a badge of honor. It's a weight, a mask. A prison made of expectations and silent suffering, the emotional damage, the family tension, the financial ruin, the public shame, it all added up. Even her health may have paid the price. Fans believe the stress made her lupus worse, She's exhausted from sisters choosing sides, from broken promises, from being the glue while the family crumbled. Tamar may want healing. Tawanda may be retreating into silence. But Toni's realizing that strength doesn't mean sacrificing yourself for people who won't lift a finger when you fall. And if you ask me, this isn't just about celebrity drama. It's about a woman who gave everything and finally said, I'm tired.